All right, welcome to Indianapolis for the SCNRA Crane and Rigging Workshop 2025. Guess who is back?
The Beer and Boots podcast for
Guess who's
season
back?
2.
Back again. It's been a while. We got a new setup. As you can see, we're not in our studio. This is considered the remote studio. We had to put these in our carry-ons. And guess what? Yes, TSA did flag us. But today, we are here with a very special guest, crane owner, western side of the United States in California, and probably one of the flyest polos here, David
If only
Thiel.
you could see his shoes as well.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me.
David Thiel of Skyline Crane. David, how are you?
Well, very well. Glad to be here, and thank you, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And even if you guys can see behind us,
I have to scoot over. Yeah. That is his work. So I don't know if anyone has ever seen a big crane picking up a little crane, but if you're maybe not in the crane industry, it was one of my favorite photos and favorite work.
Thank you. Thank you.
all right, so let's dive right into it. David, tell us your story about your company and just give us the elevator pitch.
The elevator pitch. So, fourth generation crane operator. Got in the crane business in Detroit, Michigan, working for J.J. Kerr and Crane. Spent 9 years there. Got tired of the winters. Moved to California. Worked for American Crane for 4 years in Manteca. Moved to Los Angeles. Spent 4 years at Champion Crane. Then decided to do my own thing. And when I say my own thing, I've got a partner. So I'm a co-owner and co-founder. We've been in business for 8 years. Kind of a niche company. We specialize in the hills, if you will. If you don't know the area, you wouldn't know that. But high-end residential real estate in LA is a giant market. But it also requires very specialized equipment to get to these job sites. So Liebherr has a fantastic line of all-terrain cranes that have really allowed us to do not only what we want, but what we need to for our customers. It's been a great 8 years. We're all Liebherr fleet, and it's been good.
Do you have any talking about Liebherrs as well as like not only just Liebherrs but just cranes in general? Buying cranes right now. We thought it was difficult during COVID because of the supply chain, but now we have a whole other aspect into things, tariffs. Has this affected you at all? Like, have you been looking to bring on a new crane this year and now it's like slowed down that process? Or what are just give us your thoughts on that?
We do have a few cranes on order. Haven't canceled them. Hoping that we find a resolution for this in some sort of timely manner, because obviously long term it's just not sustainable for the entire country and at least in the mobile crane world. So we still have those cranes on order. We're hoping we have a solution before they're scheduled to show up first quarter of next year. Some promising news, and they're working really, really hard with in DC with some lobbyists, just trying to get the administration to understand how it's actually affecting not just companies, but our way of life in the United States and how much cranes are required just to keep things going.
I'm actually going to throw a curveball question, and I didn't prep you for this, but curveball question. So we're in a great event right now. We have record attendance for the SCNRA Crane and Rigging Workshop for 2025. We have, I think, over 200 first-time attendees. Can you tell us, why do you come to these events, and why did you choose to come to this one?
Landon.
Well, I haven't been to the last few, and I really enjoy the crane and rigging because it's I feel the most informative for our market, and the advocacy that they provide us is phenomenal. And I joined SCNRA. I've known about it for years, and it wasn't until I met you guys that you really encouraged me and our company to join this and providing all of the things that they actually provide to us in return.
And something I think that when I'm talking to my other clients that they should come to these things, a lot of them say, hey, we're only doing, let's say revenue of 5 to 8 million, or we're not one of those bigger companies where we can send, 5 guys or something like that. So what have you found the most valuable by attending this show, but being, more of a medium-sized company or something like that? Because when I'm trying to get my clients to join, they're like, I don't know if it's valuable for me. I don't, I don't have the time.
I was certainly the same way.
Yeah.
SCNRA, Beth O'Quinn, and Jason, I called them and we had, I don't know, maybe an hour-long conversation about what they actually do. And
we won't tell them what you say. Don't worry.
no, like,
well, they'll know about it.
I'm trying to formulate the right way to answer this. I guess I was skeptical because, I probably shouldn't say this, but I will. You can edit it out. I always thought they were just cocktail parties.
Yeah.
Like it was just crane owners getting together, just hang out.
You're not the only
beer.
one that thinks that. That's why I think this is great.
In joining and actually coming, just listening to Cam and some of these breakout sessions, I would say probably 3 or 4 years ago, like walked out and added things to our policy, realizing, oh my goodness, we're really missing the mark on this and our coverages. So that's a big deal in of itself. Thankful we've never had to use that coverage, but you sleep better at night knowing you have it.
All right, we'll lead into what do you think? What are the biggest challenge? Like obviously we talked about buying equipment right now and the difficulty.
Tariff
but like you're looking at the next 5 years for Skyline Crane. What do you want to accomplish? What do you see as like some of the biggest challenges?
Yeah, tariffs, and we touched on that, but the changing insurance market. I mean, for us, this is the first year we've seen a big change in the wrong direction or in a negative direction. But in the past, I mean, if I can even go back a little bit, tell a quick little story. When I met Landon, she was pretty new. We had only been in business not even a year. So we were coming up on our first renewal, took a call from her, a cold call, and just the information that we were given for not only the coverage that we had, but the coverage we were lacking. And then immediately seen a drop in our premiums, but had better coverage. And then we've actually seen drop year after year after that. And on top of that, another quick little story. We had an issue on a weekend. This is what makes these YouTube great. And crane on a job site had an issue with a cert. And I was like in panic mode, like, oh my goodness, what are we going to do? And I shot you a text message. Maybe you probably don't even remember.
I do.
You called me. You were like out on a hike with your family.
Yeah.
And you got things handled. Like, honestly, that like solidified our relationship because I don't know that I could have gotten that anywhere else. And I certainly wouldn't have gotten that from who we were with before.
Thank you for sharing that.
Well, we grilled you. Grill us. What questions do you have for us?
I don't know, man. You guys are honestly great. Like, I feel genuinely protected on the insurance side. I don't.
And I think, one thing that we touched on probably in the presentation earlier, but that you felt yourself this year was the first year that we've had reduced capacity on what the carriers were willing to offer you on the excess. Whenever, you as a company and 90% of crane companies, the minimum requirements they need are that 5 million. So just a reduction of limits and, finding the capacity out there to still hit that $5 million minimum, but you're paying, double the premium for that. So not necessarily, I would say probably a question to grill us, but it's something that is a pain point, and California is a big one right now.
Yeah, and it's hard because like anything else, tariffs, taxes, it gets passed on to the end user. And sometimes, most of the time, they don't understand why. I understand you had to raise your rates a little bit, but why so much? Yeah. But I understand you guys also don't have control of that, right? Like the way we as crane companies perform as a whole has control of that.
Yeah.
Well, you made it easy on us. I thought like you were going to be like, what's
we did
my
not pay him or anything. This is
2027?
perfect.
2027, we're talking about 2 years out. What's my rate going to be? And I had it ready to tell you, but you didn't ask. So I guess we'll have to wait till
2 years out,
2027.
what my rate's going to be? Gosh, we behave ourselves, and I hope it's better. You know what I mean?
Behave yourself, and let's hope we get to the situation that we had. We just have a consistent marketplace, some good solutions. But at the end of the day, we want something in place for you that you can just keep running. And if something happens, it's taken care of, and you don't have issues with contracts. So, David, if you don't have anything else, I wanted to thank you for jumping on here, impromptu. We told him he was being on this podcast 20 minutes ago.
It was great. Thank you guys. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks.